How's it going, racers? Blackhawk back again with another weekly racing recap where we go over everything you might have missed over the weekend. And admittedly, a bit of a short one today. Both Formula 1 and IndyCar were off this week, which means it's all NASCAR, baby. So let's dive into it. Alright, so we are in the Irish Hills this week, Michigan International Speedway. We start off the weekend with the ARCA Menard Series. Pretty straightforward this week. Brandon Butter being queen. We're going to start calling him Lightning pretty soon. He puts that car on pole and pretty much dominates the entire race. He did have some struggles with Corey Heim and Gio Reggiero throughout the entire race, but Brandon Queen proves that Junior is a great eye for talent, and he went on to win the race. Later on in the afternoon, the Craftsman Truck Series. Luke Fenhouse, kind of an unknown name at the moment, but he puts that fast truck on pole, but Carson Hocevar, fresh off of some great strong runs in the Cup Series, quickly takes the lead. But he is not alone. We've got Connor Mosack and Corey Heim battling with them all the way through the entire first stage, but at the end of stage one, Corey Heim, the dominant guy of the year, wins stage one. So on stage two restart, Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar. Heim takes the lead initially, but he and Hocevar swap the lead throughout the entire stage. Neither one of them let the other get out of the sights. But when the chips are down and it's time to collect the points, Corey Heim wins stage two. 4 times this year, he has swept both stages in a single race. Easily the championship favorite for the Truck Series this year. Stage number 3, once more, Corey Heim and Hocevar duel at the beginning, but Caden Honeycutt in the number 45 is coming on strong behind him. But before they can settle the lead between them, Jack Wood in the number 91 spins and tags the wall a little bit, but he keeps it going. But on the very next restart, they don't even get to turn 2 before last week's winner, Raja Caruth, gets spun off of Matt Mills and completely destroys that truck. He will finish second to last, just ahead of Norm Benning this week. Not a great follow-up to last week's big win in Nashville. Back on the restart, it is Brandon Honeycutt and Carson Hocevar once again. I don't think it was Brandon, actually. On the restart, it's Honeycutt versus Hocevar. They fight for the lead. Honeycutt barely squeezes past. And with 42 laps to go, Morgan Baird in the number 2 collects Nathan Bird in the 0-2. That's not confusing at all. Same name, same numbers. What are you going to do? And at the restart, Grant Enfinger leads Matt Crafton and John Ruggiero. Crafton not been up front all day, but he has a habit of sneaking his way towards the front when the chips are down at some of these races. He's going to be one to watch for the end. But there's more new contenders up front. We've got Ross Chastain from the Cup Series, along with Lane Riggs, coming up front to fight Grant Enfinger for the lead, with Corey Heim coming up right behind, but Enfinger holds the lead for now. The top 4 are completely under a blanket with 4 laps to go. But Carson Hocevar and Ross Chastain get together coming off of turn 2. Hocevar takes the lead, but Chastain had to save a whale of a slide, but he kept it going. But unfortunately, that slipped him back into the pack. But hold your horses. There's a caution. It's this. Somebody leave this thing here. Come get it. Once we get that tire carcass out of the way, we've got to restart with only 5 laps to go. And the entire field wrecks. Yeah, it's hard to judge exactly how this happened. The second row guys look like they pushed the front row a little too hard, and they just spun them all up into the wall. Over a dozen trucks got caught up in this wreck. It's a total mess. But what this does is set up a green-white checkered overtime. Green flag, white flag the next lap, checkered flag the next one. If the leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race, whether it be yellow or the checkered. Just in case you didn't know. But up front, we've got another new contender, Corey LaJoie in the 07. He takes the lead, and going into turn 3, the truck behind him, Daniel Hemrick, he cuts a left front tire and sends it right up into the wall. Corey did not take the white flag, so we got another attempt on our hands. Green-white checkered number 2. Corey LaJoie's up front with Grant Enfinger this time. Grant takes Corey on the inside, barely scoots the lead away, but there is 4 wide racing in the middle of the pack, and it does not work out well for them. And we've got another caution and another restart. Green white checkered attempt number 3. Stuart Friesen, I don't know where he came from, but he is alongside Grant Enfinger on the front row. Stuart Friesen takes the lead away. The dirt track dominator holds off Enfinger and takes a surprise win away from everybody and locks his truck into the playoffs this year. Congrats, Stuart. It's always great seeing him in victory lane. I honestly can't remember the last time he won a race. He and his wife race together in the truck series sometimes, you know. Fun fact. Sunday. The NASCAR Cup Series at Michigan International Speedway, their fastest race of the year. And I mean that quite literally. Going into turn 1, they were hitting speeds of over 203 to 204 miles an hour. They don't do that on any other tracks on the schedule nowadays, especially with this car. But they are unrestricted, 2 miles, let her rip. Chase Briscoe, 3rd straight pole, 4th of the year. That 19 car is on an absolute tear. But surprise, Rowdy Busch starts on the inside of him in P2 for the weekend. Kyle Busch fights hard, but Chase Briscoe sends it into turn 3 and absolutely goes around Kyle Busch on the outside and holds the lead. Going into the stage, William Byron quickly follows suit and takes second away from Kyle Busch. Later on the stage at the green flag pit stops, William Byron has taken the race lead, but Chris Buescher is following closely behind him. And that number 17 RFK racing car is stupid fast here. Buescher takes the lead away from Byron late in the stage and holds him off to win stage number 1. And Denny Hamlin was starting to close the gap there at the end. Looks like that 11 car is going to be real fast again this week. But it's not too long before Hamlin reels him back in and they duel in the closing laps of the stage, with Denny Hamlin taking those precious 10 points and I believe his first playoff point of the season. No wins yet. Hopefully none more, but what can you do? In stage 2 early on, Chase Elliott, NASCAR's most popular driver, takes the lead, but the fun does not last long. Massive wreck on lap 67. Alex Bowman takes this nasty hit straight into the outside wall. It's probably one of the worst I have seen in the next gen car. That is not a pleasant wreck to watch. But in the incident, he did collect Daniel Suarez, the pole sitter Chase Briscoe, and Cole Custer in that number 41 Haas factory car. All got taken out in the incident, and the race was actually red flagged while they did a lot of cleanup and helping guys get to the ambulances. Fortunately, everybody's okay, but man, Bowman, he cannot catch a break this year. He's taking a lot of hard hits too. His contract is up at the end of the 2026 season. They haven't extended the contract yet, but only time will tell if he's going to stay on with Hendrick at this rate. But after that, we're back to racing. William Byron takes the lead, and Ryan Blaney spins off by himself into pit road. Everyone thought he was everybody's going to the pits, but no, he just sailed it off into turn 4, lost control, and 12 laps to go, brought out the yellow once more. On the restart, William Byron and Austin Cindric in that 2 car for Team Penske, they duel for the lead, and Carson Hocevar on a hot streak, catching them fast, but Byron holds on to win stage number 2, getting those precious points that he needs, and another playoff point to go into the chase. Should have won a few more races this year, but with that only the Daytona 500 victory, he needs a lot more boost going into the playoffs for sure. Stage number 3, long green flag run here. William Byron leads Carson Hocevar, the hometown boy, by the way. He has a lot of fans here. Everybody was cheering him on. He could finally break through and win. But Todd Gilliland blows a left rear tire on lap 137. And smacks the wall pretty good right there. But tires seeming to be an issue in some of these later runs this weekend. Maybe Goodyear's finally found the soft spot. That's a joke. Anyway, after the restart, Carson Hocevar takes the lead away from William Byron and seems to be cruising his way towards a race win. They pitted a little bit early. This was turning into a fuel mileage run. A lot of tension. Who's going to save enough? Who's going to run out? It sounded like Hocevar might have been 3 or 4 laps short, but it turned out to be a lot more short because with 19 laps to go, he too loses his left rear tire and is forced to pit early. Now it is William Byron versus Denny Hamlin. Both of them trying to save fuel. Neither of them know how much they have left. They are battling hard with 5 laps to go. And finally, with 3 laps to go, Denny Hamlin forces that car around. William Byron takes the lead and doesn't look back. Byron would actually run out of fuel coming to the white flag and have to dive into pit road. Unfortunately, 24 car ends up 28th. Does not show how well he ran all day today. And my unfortunate prophecy last week comes true. Denny Hamlin wins this week. But as always, he is ever so humble and gracious in victory, as he demonstrated in his post-race interview.
Daddy, I'm sorry, but I beat your favorite driver, folks.
I gotta ask, like Marty did, who's that?
All of them.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it, buddy. And that's it. Very short one this week. We were only at Michigan International Speedway, but next week, Father's Day weekend, it's going to be a big one. All of America, I should say all of North America, is going to be represented very well next week. We start off Formula One, got the Canadian GP up in the Great White North. In the United States, IndyCar racing at Gateway in St. Louis. And NASCAR is going to be NASCAR's going to Mexico. So pack your sombreros and fill up your tortillas, because we're going racing down in the hot desert next week in Mexico City. Should be interesting. Anyways, until next time, y'all have a great week. I'll see you next week for another weekly breakdown. Cheers, racers.